This is VOA News. I'm David Byrd. Police fired volleys of tear gas and protesters hurled bricks during clashes in Hong Kong on Saturday as several thousand activists protested an attack by suspected triad gang members at a train station last week. Reuters' Anna Bevan has more.
Police had refused to allow the march on safety grounds, but protesters pushed ahead, having criticised the police for failing to protect the public from the attack by suspected members of the city's shadowy criminal network known as the Triads. What began as a peaceful protest soon grew increasingly tense. Rocks and bottles were thrown at police by protesters, and riot police stormed a pedestrian bridge. Last Sunday, around 100 club-wielding men burst into Yonong Station. The suspected gang members attacked protesters, passers-by, journalists and lawmakers, leaving 45 people injured, one critically.
Reuters' Anna Bevan. Russian police detained hundreds of people on Saturday, including prominent opposition activists, around a political protest in Moscow. AP's Ben Thomas reports.
Thousands of demonstrators gathered in the heart of the Russian capital to protest the exclusion of opposition candidates from the ballot for Moscow City Council, a vote scheduled to be held in September. Demonstrators chanted slogans including "Russia will be free" and "Who are you beating?" as lines of helmeted police pushed into the crowds, beating people with batons and arresting hundreds. They also stormed the video studio of Russia's most prominent opposition figure, Alexei Navalny, arresting the presenter during a live YouTube broadcast of the protest. Navalny was sentenced earlier this week to 30 days in jail for calling the unauthorized gathering. I'm Ben Thomas.
This is VOA News. 8 senior military officers are to be charged in Sudan with crimes against humanity over their alleged part in the killing of protesters on June 3rd. Sudanese prosecutors said on Saturday the country's ruling generals did not order the dispersal of a demonstrators' camp, instead blaming paramilitary rapid support forces for exceeding orders and dispersing the protest camp on their own initiative. The report found security forces were told only to clear a lawless area close to the protest camp, not the sit-in itself. The prosecutors put the death toll at 87. Protesters say that 127 people were killed. Sudanese protest leaders have disputed the conclusion of prosecutors following their investigation. Protesters have set tires on fire and put up roadblocks in response to the findings of the report. Protesters also took to the streets across the Nile River in Khartoum's twin city of Omdurman. U.S. President Donald Trump hit out at a prominent congressman Saturday who's been a strong critic of Trump's handling of the migration crisis on the U.S.-Mexico border. In a series of tweets, the president described Elijah Cummings, a Maryland Democrat and the House Oversight Committee chairman, as a, quote, brutal bully, unquote. He said Cummings' district of Baltimore was, quote, a disgusting rat and rodent-infested mess, unquote, implying the congressman has neglected it. In a tweet of his own, Cummings said he goes home to his district every night. He added that while it is his constitutional obligation to oversee the executive branch, it was his moral obligation to represent the interests of his constituents. Bahrain executed 3 men Saturday, convicted in 2 separate cases, one involving the killing of a police officer and the other the killing of an imam. A public prosecutor said in a statement that the 2 men, which he did not identify, were convicted for crimes including using an assault rifle to kill a police officer in 2017. The 3rd executed man was convicted of killing an imam in 2018. Rights groups have identified 2 of the men as Shiite activists Ali al-Arab and Ahmed al-Malali, sentenced to death last year in a mass trial, along with 56 men convicted and given jail terms on terrorism crimes. And at least 10 Pakistani soldiers were killed Saturday in 2 separate militant attacks. 6 of the soldiers died in an attack in the North Waziristan region. 4 others were killed in Baluchistan province. For more, visit our website. I'm David Byrd, VOA News.